Hi guys, James here. Welcome to Leopold Goes Modelworks, and got a bit of a treat today. Hobby Bosses, 1/72 scale, German 280mm K5/E railway gun. It's the Leopold. So, kit size, length 445mm, width 46.8mm. 14 plus, yeah, there's a lot of parts in this. Let's have a look around the box. A few bits on the box that shouldn't be there, never mind. Little bit of history. Decals, copyright made in 2018. On this side, and then on this side we've got a different colour scheme on there. So, and obviously not for children under 3 years due to small parts. It says there. This product is not a toy. So let's pop this big box open and have a look inside. So I should point out that Nigel's Modelling Bench did a inbox review of this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7. That's 9. That's the instructions. 11. 12. Effectively, we've got a lot of bags, and we've got the chassis and some chain there. And obviously the decal's there. So from what I understand from Nigel, because Nigel did a correction sheet for the Leopold, there's a few little issues with it, but so obviously this is a clue as to where it came from. That's a long story, but all I say is that it did arrive eventually from 1001 Hobbies. So don't buy from them. That's all I say here. Now, obviously we've got 2 instructions. We'll go through the instructions first. I'll have a look and zoom us in a bit because it's going to be very small. That's better. Right. So, please read before operation. Okay. Recommended tools. Has CA glue, weight, make hole, cut, remove, option, no cement decal, bend, and repair. Method of applying decals. Yeah, you do have to wait a long time for them to come off the paper. Right, so this one has obviously sprue map on here, and all the bits and details. And then we have the and we're building up the bogies ×2. So someone who's got experience of building railway models shouldn't have an issue with this. Yes, it's a lot of parts, but it can be quite interesting to do. Obviously, rinse and repeat on this side. Add the wheels, what I will say is don't, yeah. So obviously they're expecting you to flex that to get it in. Or quite possibly you don't glue one of those sides on. I don't know which one, but I'll find out eventually. Obviously, and that's the wheels done. Then you flip the side over, front truck upper, put that on there. So effectively you're building one part at a time. Putting on the greeblies up here. All the pipe work and the running gear for the bogies there. Fitting the buffers and the screw link coupling. And then a few more bits on there. And then obviously jump into the rear truck to build. So obviously building the parts up for that. We've got to put a step down on the step on either side. And little hand cranks. And the buffers. And the buffer beam. Looks a little bit different from the rear buffer. Well, the rear of the truck version there. Again, building up the barrel and the what do you call it? Breech. So obviously following these instructions, you're following the arrows all the way around here. So that piece goes onto there, and yeah, so you can't lose track of it on here. Building up the sort of like the piston and the crank mechanism for the gun. Then we're fitting all those bits together. Not making sure they're not glued together. So you've got the ability to sort of position the gun. And then building up the frame, fitting this part to the frame. Yeah, and then we slide that into the new, hope and pray that it fits inside the part that's already made. Putting the platform on that side. Putting some big mechanisms on. And so again, they don't say about gluing that bit, but hey ho. Gun lock. A few bits of pipe, so obviously you leave those off purposely because you're going to break them off. Again, you've got the gun. So basically you actually go from the very beginning and you glue the gun together and allow it to sets basically. That way you can clean the seam up. Then you fit in the gun. All these bits go on here. Make two sets of steps. Fitting the railings on. Quite a bit on that side. And then we've got obviously the loading mechanism for this, making up the truck, and the crank with the wire on it. So you've got thread 800mm long, and then you have to wrap it round there. So at least that's what I think. and then making up this part, another greebly here, and we hope and pray it locates on the bogies. And yeah, so it's not very clear, that bit, but never mind, we'll figure it out. And this bit is for the track, so make up the base, slide the track in, and then fit the fish plates in. Obviously you can paint the track and that beforehand, fairly straightforward. And then we have the colour schemes. Obviously we have German grey or field grey, they call it field grey. And then we have dark yellow and red brown camouflage, which that looks quite a nice camo scheme on that. So that's a quick look at the instructions. I'm not going to worry about getting the decals out of the box, because will be quite. So I'm going to pause the video there and open the bags, and I'll see you in a bit. Right, first sprue out of the box is Sprue E. Basically it has your handrails on there, so some careful cleaning is required, or basically swap out this for a wire. Obviously has bits of the buffer beam here and bits of the gun. So effectively you've got to hunt over the kit somewhat for this. A little bit flashy. Oh yeah, it's got you have to be careful with the ejector pins, because obviously some are seen, some aren't. So I've obviously got quite a pro at cleaning up ejector pins of late. So yeah, Sprue E. And this is Sprue D, which has the bits of the gun, bits of deck, and various other greeblies, as Nigel likes to say. Bit of clean up required on this. No sink as such. Obviously feels a little bit greasy, and a little bit flashy, but nonetheless it's a lot of parts there. Again, lovely detailed bit for the buffer beams, so some real care is going to have to be taken in cutting those parts off, I shall say that. Again, this is Sprue F. That way you get size of the well, it's like a bolster, isn't it? This is a bolster wagon, so that's the size of the deck for the gun deck. So bit of flash here, but obviously take your time, clean it up. Gun lock, some nice detail. They've got some nice detail on this, but it will make up a nice wagon, a nice wagon, yeah, or bogey bolster, I think is the correct term for it. So you've got all your bits and pieces on, all your bits of wire, your handrails, and some, I think they're exhausts by the looks of it. A nice little crank handles there. Very nice too. And this is the first part of the track, so it's basically a modular system. So you've got your end, 2 track pieces, they click together, and then you put the rails in there. Again, remarkably, there's no ejector pins in the track. Obviously you can do with this as you please. So that's the A sprue. Again, there's 2 of those. So duplication. I do know you can actually get whole lengths of track, so you can expand the railway up. So how you please. So this is the bit in which the gun fits. So it's a big old beast. It's a big old beast. That's your chain in your thread. Now let's pick out these pieces, because it'd be fairly straightforward to do that. Because that one goes there, and that one goes there, something like that. So it shows you the size of it. It's huge. So you don't worry about it being a bit warped there, because obviously you've got all the structure going in there, and it'll straighten it out. Okay. So a nice piece of slide moulding. Obviously these are lovely. Again, some ejector pins, but you're not going to see them because they're on the underside. For those 2 parts, that's those. And then we have the all the bits that make up each of the trucks. So the suspension and bearings on this end, all the bits of brake rigging, your vac pipes, your brakes, and all your mechanisms in there. So, and yes, you've got 2 of them. So that's 2, and that's a B sprue. And this is the C sprue. Again, we've got 2 of those. So we've got this internal part for the gun. So you can say it's a whopper. Actually, is it bigger than 5.5 inches long? Let's just confirm that. Yes, it is. It's 7 inches. 7.5 inches long. That part. Size matters, chaps. All your bits of your to make up your wheels there. So you keep you busy for days doing this. Effectively, it's rinse and repeat. This one, again, the same on here. So obviously the gun, nip it off the sprues, glue it together, job done, and leave it. And then you can deal with the seam and whatever on it, okay? As Nigel says very succinctly in his videos. Obviously, okay. And finally, you have the wheels. again, nicely done. Buffers, why on earth they've got the sprue gate that end? Why haven't they got it in this end? Never mind. That means they're going to be a pain to clean up. Again, the screw links are basically devoid of any detail, which is a shame. Never mind. Obviously you can get aftermarket ones, but they might be slightly different anyway. So that's the A sprue, and there's 2 of those. So that is a quick inbox review of Hobby Boss's 1/72 scale Leopold. So members, huge thanks for being the members, and there's actually 11 of you now, so you've done quite well, and I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Bye for now.